Hey, guys. Welcome to another edition of Listen. It's your girl, Rita. I'm here with you this evening in my car in a remote location. And I want you guys to sit back and I want you guys to sit up and I want you guys to come in the room with me and I want you guys to talk to me. Tonight, we're going to talk about catching up, finding out what's going on with you. I'll let you know what's going on with me. And we're going to just check in with each other. It's been a while since we've chit chatted for a while. So I want you guys to share this live. I want you guys to jump in the conversation. I want you to come and talk with me. Catch up. Let me know what's going on with you. I'm going to let you know what's going on with me. And while you get yourself together and hit that share button and let your peoples know that I'm here, we're going to start. Oh, see, technical difficulties already. We're going to start the experience right now. So, once again, hey guys, it's Monday evening, and I am here with you tonight on Listen. I'm sitting in my car on a remote location, and sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you just need to sit back and get away from all the craziness. So, tonight we're talking about what you've been up to, what I've been up to. We're talking tonight about catching up because it's been a long time since we've been able to catch up. It's been a lot of different things going on here in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, sisterly affection. It's been a lot of things going on in the world in general. So I decided tonight, let's just catch up. Let's chit chat tonight. I'll let you know what's going on with me. You let me know what's going on with you. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're in the room with me. You still have time. The experience just started. So I did come on a little bit late this evening, but it's okay. You know, life happens, things happen. And sometimes you need that woosah moment of just, so that's what I had to do. So I decided to, you know what? Let me find a serene location. Let me be in a remote location to where it's just a timeout for me, a timeout for you, a timeout for us to come together and have this conversation. So it's been a lot going on. And we've been talking about our best friend who's still outside with his friends, her friends. And we're trying to get back to a sense of normalcy, is what words we've been using. And the key thing of what I've been talking about and key thing of what's been going on here lately is the words that I've been saying so often is use your words, guys, because it's so important to use your words. So important. So we've been sitting back since our best friend has been outside and things been shaking up. Okay, things were shaking up and we had to figure out what's going on. We had to figure out how we were going to adjust to things and we had to do it at a rapid pace. A rapid pace. Some people adjusted, some people didn't. And it was also said that, oh, we're going to get back to the sense of normal things that you was doing before. We're going to get back to it. But you have to take these precautions in order to get back to it. So now here we are almost at the end of another year, 2021. And we're still dealing with things that happened in 2020 and things that happened in the course of 2019. On top of things that we just haven't been able to, haven't had a chance to deal with on a regular basis. So I'm catching up with you. You want you to catch up with me. Talking about we haven't adjusted. Some of us have not adjusted. Our best friend is still outside causing havoc. And every day we turn on the news and it's so much violence going on. So many different things are going on. We're watching the news of the rates of our best friend that's still outside, the rates of who has been vaccinated, who hasn't. Condolences to the Powell family, he was also vaccinated, but he passed away. So of course it was said that it was due to COVID. Don't know if that's what his family said, okay? But of course that just puts extra things to should you do it, should you do it. So to say all of that is you have to do what's best for you and not get caught up in the news and what's going on, because we all know that sometimes the news just hype things up to make it seem worse than what it is. And then we also know that they have some good things going on outside that's not being reported on. So we're catching up with that. So again, condolences to the Powell family. Also condolences to our fans and our viewers out here who have lost loved ones, who I can't say by name, but you know who you are. So I extend my condolences to you and your family as well. And we're also grieving some other things in life, loss of a job, loss of a relationship, different things we have going on from our day to day activities. So here we go. What else we got going on? Catching up. We're catching up. We're digging in. What else do we have going on? So we do have these CDC guidelines. So there's things that we have to do if we want to enjoy certain things. And that includes work. So some people have been out of work. Some people are back at work. Some people are working from home. So I need to know what you guys are doing. You're working from home. Is your job requiring you to follow certain CDC rules to return to work? That's also a grievance. And that's also promoting and giving you anxiety. We're still dealing with anxiety. We're in the month of October and we're still dealing with some things from last October. I had a conversation today with a young lady who I was not talking to in October. And what I mean by that is it was a deja vu moment. I had the exact same conversation with a young lady who I've had this conversation with a gentleman a year ago. And it was crazy because I'm saying to myself, last year this time I had this conversation. Same industry, same type of conversation, words to the T, but my audience was different. And it just made me reflect on things that we have going on from last year. We're still carrying it into this year. And we only have 2 more months to go within this year. We're in the month of October. We have November and December before we're saying again, Happy New Year's, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. Again, what did we do from last year? What did we learn from last year? What changes have we made from last year? And are there some changes that we're making this year that we can carry into next year? Or are we going to still have these same conversations next year? Question on the floor. Do you want to have these conversations next year? I know I don't. I know I don't. It's just some things I don't want to talk about anymore. There's just some things I'm tired of talking about. There's just some things I don't want to even entertain anymore. That's why I'm catching up with you guys, because it's been a minute since we've been able to sit down and chat, catch up and check in. That's exactly what we're doing tonight. We're checking in. How are you doing? That question is so important today. Before, you used to come into a room and saying good morning, good afternoon, good night. It wasn't as important to some people as it is today. That same question, how are you doing today, wasn't as irrelevant to some people last year as it is today, where some people can actually stop and say, You know what? I'm glad you asked me how I was doing. No one has asked me that in so long. Or you genuinely wanted to know how I was doing, where some other people asked me how I was doing because they had something they wanted me to do, something they wanted me to catch them up on. They wanted to know where I was in life, where I was in the moment, in the minute. So they wanted to really gossip, for real, for real. It wasn't a genuine concern of, hey, how are you doing? So that's where this question is still relevant for tonight that goes into our check in. How are you doing this evening, October 18th at 8:25 p.m.? How are you guys doing? That question is also asked when you go to the doctors. The doctor, you go into the room and the doctor asks you, hey, what you got going on? You know, they check your chart, they look at your chart, and they look to see different things that you're doing. You know, from if you gained weight, if you lost weight, if you had high blood pressure, if you didn't have high blood pressure, how you working on with that, any type of element that you have going on, how are you dealing with those things, right? So that's how I feel tonight. I'm a doctor and I'm checking in with you. And I want you to check in with me because throughout all this time, throughout this experience, through from 19 to now, that question is still so relevant. How are you doing? What's going on? You know, it are you working in things that you can control, you can't control? The conversations we've had last year, we're still having this year, and we're going into a new year. So the question on the floor is, what are you doing? How are you coping? How are you coping with the fact that last year, this time, we are still dealing with the things into this year? From 21 was carried into 22. Carrying, I'm sorry, 20 into 21 and possibly carrying into 22. So for me, my saying is from January to now, my months have bled into each other. So every month I have been dealing with something from the previous month that's bled into the next month. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot to sit there and say, is it something that I need to do? Do I need to do a reflection on myself? So for me, I like to journal. So I write in my journal, and I'm a person who writes on both sides of the pages, not just the front, because I was taught from Catholic school, you don't waste paper. So I write front and back, and I'm just jotting down different things that's overwhelming me, different things that has upset me, different things that I just need to find a different approach on how to handle things. Some people knit, some people listen to music, some people go to church, some people seek counsel in different areas of that. Some people talk to their friends, some people talk to their loved ones. And with all that being said, what do you do to cope with your different things that you have going on? And how do you cope? For me, I get irritated a lot. I don't like repeating myself. And there's some things that, again, has happened from last year to this year. And I'm finding myself saying the same thing over and over and over again. Audience is different, situation is different, but my response is the same. So, how do you cope with things like that? And you can't right now because last year has trickled into this year. And we're still trying to be okay with that. There is some people out here still trying to live their life as they did when it was 2018, 2017. They're still trying to find that balance. And the way things are going today, guys, what do you that I forgot what you call it, that scale? Yeah, that scale. It's a little different. It's a little different. So we have to learn how to adapt. So are you a person that adapt easily to change? Are you resistant to change? Do you have to be pushed a little bit more for change? Are you a visual person that you have to see it, to believe it, to change it? Are you the go along to get along person? So if my best friend do it, if my significant other do it, then I'm gonna do it because they did it. Or are you just that person that just dots all your I's, cross all your T's, put your commas in the right place, put your periods in the right place, and figure it out for yourself and just deal with it how it comes? With the way life has been going and the way things have been hitting us left and right, it's just been really, really off. Excuse me, guys, I didn't put my phone on mute. Really, really off. And you're trying to find your balance, right? You're trying to figure out what you got going on. You're trying to figure out how do you cope with it, how do you manage it. And our best friend outside isn't making it easy for us. The news isn't making it easy for us. And sadly to say, our friends and family, they're not making it easy for us either. So what do you do? This is the check-in time. What do you do? How do you handle it? Have you ever been to the doctors and they ask that question? And you say to your doctor, I keep getting these headaches. And the doctor said, well, what do you do when you get the headache? Or what are you doing when you get the headache? And you're looking at the doctor and you're trying to figure out, if I knew, would I be here telling you I keep getting these headaches? So then you have to evaluate your time and say, okay, you know what? The last time I got this headache, I was at work. Or I was talking to this particular person. Or I have so much going on. This is what happened. Then the doctor sits there and they try to figure out, okay, how we get to the bottom of this, how we get to solving this problem. Do you need some ibuprofen, Tylenol? You need some time off of work? You need to get more rest? What do you need to do? And you look at the doctor and you're saying to the doctor, well, I know I do. You got the PhD. Why are you asking me? So then I came around to the point of saying, you know what? I'm taking all these vitamins. I'm eating right. I'm exercising. I'm removing myself from certain situations, from certain company. And I'm still feeling down. I'm still feeling drained. I'm still feeling not myself. Then something says to me, and if it was an older person in the room, they would say, no, it was dropped in your spirit. You're not resting. You're not resting. How can you take vitamins? How can you do this cleansing? Take these teas and exercise and do all these things if you're not resting? So a couple weeks ago, I posted something that was so relevant 3 years ago, so true today. Rest is important. I'm going to say it again. Rest is important. It's okay to not be a part of every event. It's okay to not be a part of every conversation. It's okay to not accept, if you have a side hustle, every job that is presented before you. How can you rest if you're so busy running around? Rest is important. How? You're not giving your body time to catch up with your feet. So, all of my friends know that I don't have a big shoe size. So, the inside joke, funny joke is little feet for me. So, if my little feet is going so fast, it can't catch up with my body. I'm running this race that my feet is so far ahead of me. Is that the commercial? You ever watch the cartoon? Not the commercial, the cartoons when they're running so fast that they're. So, ladies and gentlemen, the engineer has walked in the room and they got jokes already. Jokes. Anyway, to my point. So, have you ever watched a cartoon when the cartoon is running and his feet or her feet is all the way up in the front and it's turning. Matter of fact, it's Tom and Jerry, who's a great example of this. Tom is running and his body is already around the corner before his head comes around the corner. That's how your body feels when your feet is going and you're answering the call of every time the phone rings. You're at every event. You're doing every side job. You're just busy, 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 busy. And you're not giving your body time to relax, to heal, to rest. And then you wonder why the vitamins don't work. You wonder why the tea don't work. You wonder why the coffee ain't working. You wonder why the Pepsi's not working. You're just wondering why nothing's working, and because you're not resting. So some key points that's good to rest that I do, I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to share with you after we come back from this commercial break, because I've been giving y'all some tidbits for a while here, and we haven't taken our first commercial break. See, busy, busy, busy talking. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back with my key points on resting and suggestions on how to rest. So I shall return in a little while.
I feel like busting loose, busting loose. I said, Shala, come on, y'all said. I said, Shala, get it, y'all said. I said, Shala, come on, y'all said. I said, Shala, hit it, y'all said. Give me the big time.
If you want to create a drop, release your new song with a pop, do you need an exciting intro for your video? Promote your business, products, or shows? Contact us for customized digital video packages. For more details, email us at tkbsds.org@gmail.com. How do you cross the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean without a boat? You do it right here with a jazzy moment with Lovely on Cosmos Radio Network.
So welcome back, guys, to Listen. Tonight we are checking in and checking up on how you guys are doing. I am in my car on a remote location. I like saying that, a remote location. And sometimes you just need a timeout. Sometimes you just need to not be in the house. Sometimes we're so busy with our work day that we rush, and we rush home to be home to do nothing. It's a little breezy outside, it's a little crisp air out here where I'm sitting. And, I'm just taking in the breeze, taking in the sounds of the cars going by. And it's just reminding me that I'm alive, basically. That's what it is. It's reminding me that I'm not the only one that's busy. I'm not the only one that's rushing. I'm not the only one that's outside. I was not left behind. So I'm sitting in my car, and this remote location, it's nice out here, really nice out here. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to do the show tonight, and I'm just going to on chill mode while we check up and while we check in, because we have so many things that is going on. And sometimes I said earlier, the question is so important of how are you doing? And there's nothing behind the question. Some people say, well, how are you doing today? How was work? How are you doing today? How's the kids? How are you adjusting to school? How are you adjusting to this? How are you adjusting to that? how was your day? You know, and this question I'm asking you is, how are you doing? It's just that. How are you doing? And it could be with whatever. How are you doing with starting your own business? How are you doing with since you started your own business? How has things been going? Or how are you doing with this new relationship? May it be a romantic relationship or just girls relationship, bro relationship. How are you doing with the kids? How are you doing with the husband, the wife? It's just, how are you doing? Because there's so many different things that can affect you and you don't realize it. Sometimes we sit in and, we take on other people's problems. And, sometimes people call you and they just dump everything on you. So now their dump is on your plate and they're waiting for you to find a solution. Now, I shouldn't tell you this story, but I'm going to tell you this story because I know this person isn't watching. But if the person is watching, I don't think I care. So, I got a phone call from a friend, from an associate, acquaintance. They wanted to know how I was doing, but they wanted to know how I was doing because they're not doing so well. So this is where I don't want to say they're miserable. So it's not the misery loves company. Is that if you're doing bad while I'm doing bad, I'm happy because now we can swap stories. We can compare what's going on. Or the fact that you're not doing well, I'm not doing well, and I'm happy that I'm not by myself not doing well. Or we were somewhere in the same position 2 years ago. I'm still trying to find my way. I'm still trying to find my footing. I'm still trailing this water. I'm still doggy paddling in this ocean, but you're on solid ground. So this person is treading water. This person has been treading water. I can't swim, so it doesn't make a difference to me. But I'm on solid ground. We wasn't in the same boat. I'm gonna say we were in the same canoe because that's a little smaller. But I was able to put my paddle out a little further to help me get to the shore faster than this person was. I like how I just broke this thing down without even talking about this person. So I was able to put my paddle out a little further than they were. So they're treading this water. They're doggy paddling, and I'm on solid ground. So this acquaintance, this associate calls me to do a check-in to say to me, "Hey, how's it going?" And I said, "It's going well." And she's trying to pick up my voice. Now, mind you, I was in a store, so I had a mask on. So, you can't really hear people too well on the phone with your mask on. "You sound tired." And I'm like, "Well, it's 9:30 in the morning. I got in late last night. I'm a little tired." Oh, so that was the wrong answer right there. I was supposed to say, "Girl, I'm so tired. I got this going on." I was supposed to do all that and I didn't. So, hi, Mr. Bird. How are you? Checking in from Dance Studio. Welcome to Listen. Tonight, I'm talking about you just joined in a great time. You can actually chime in and talk to me. Let me know how you're doing. You're checking in. We're checking in tonight with different things we have going on. How you're feeling. How was your day? How was your month? We're getting ready to go into November, December. And do you feel the same way you felt last October going into a new year? So it was on your mind. Tell them how you really feel. Oh, I do that very well. I do that very well. But this particular person caught me at a moment where I'm in a store and I normally don't answer my phone when this person calls. but I had to be nice this particular moment. So they wanted to know how I was doing. Like, yeah, I hold no bars. I don't. I get it. I hit you right at the juggler, right at the juggler. And uh, depending on the mood, the moment, I might be apologetic. But this young lady only calls. This young lady only chimes in when she's at a breaking point of where she wants to that pity party. And at first, when I was talking to her, I kind of felt bad because we didn't really talk the last couple months, but it wasn't anything of my fault of why we didn't talk. As we said, life gets busy. I'm working, you're working, I have kids, you have kids, you have a significant other, I have a significant other. Life happens. Life happens. But she's not the type of person that calls in just to check in with you. She calls in to check in so that she can compare what you're dealing with to what she's dealing with, and that so she can now say, you know, me too, or you're, or I told you so. And that's when she calls, and when she talk about the job, she always wants that I told you so moment because she didn't do so well at the job. And it happens. Every job is not for you. Every company isn't for you. You have to find out what your niche is and do that. Yes, the time that we're living in, jobs are scarce. So some people are just taking a job just to say they have a job because they have to make ends meet. But every job isn't for you. Some things that you're completely passionate about, you can't do your own thing if it's not your company. Corporate America doesn't work that way. If you're not in a management role, then you can't tell people what to do. If you're not a trainer, you can't try to change policies and procedures and then train people to do it your way. Those things just don't happen. Yes, in your job, you can tailor the job to your own rhythm. Because I always tell when I'm training, we can do something. I can give it to you step by step, 1 through 10, 1 through 12, of how to do something. Once you do it yourself, you'll find your own rhythm. Doesn't matter how you get to 12, just get to 12. Some jobs are just redundant that way, that you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. That is redundant. I don't care how you get to 12, just get to 12. It's just that easy. Sometimes people make it harder because they want to teach you how to get to 12 when they're still trying to get to 1. And she's that person where she's already at 12 and we didn't even tell you what 1 was yet. So, the conversation I had with her in October of last year was the same conversation I had with her this year in October. On top of the fact, if you are looking to call your friend or associate, acquaintance, whatever you would decide to say, be truthful in the conversation. Don't voluntarily lie to me because I didn't ask you. The question was, how are you doing? I'm fine. I'm great. I'm lovely. I'm not. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I have anxiety. Just be truthful. Just because I'm in a semi good space and you're not, it's okay. I'm still going to be your friend if you're in a good spot or a bad spot. Our friendship isn't dependent upon that. And I really wouldn't be a good friend if I am only your friend when you're going through good times. So tonight, we're talking about checking in. We're talking about catching up. We're talking about what are you preparing yourself for? Because we're in a time of harvest. It's October. We're in a time of harvest. We're getting, the trees the leaves are changing. It's getting a little darker early. It's getting a little colder now. We're about to transition from fall to winter. And in the midst of that transition, we're about to go through a thankful time because Thanksgiving is coming up. We're also going through a time of giving because Christmas is coming up. Even though we should be thankful all year round, even though we should be in a giving spirit all year round, some people just take this time to do it at this time. So, what are you preparing yourself for? What are you thankful for? Are you happy that you have overcome some things from last year to this time, or from last month to this time? Are you excited for the new year coming? Are you upset because we've been watching the news and you've been seeing the commercials from different stores saying get your Christmas gifts now because it's not going to be anything left? Have you been watching social media where some people have been coming on talking about the shortage in groceries? So stock up now because in a couple months it's not going to be anything here. Are you preparing yourself? I was trying to find this illustration. It was, I can't remember, so you guys help me out if you know who I'm talking about. I believe it was an ant, and I don't know what the other animal was. But during this time, the ant is walking, going around, getting everything that it needs for the winter. And the other animal was running around, having fun, partying, sleeping late, doing everything but getting ready for preparing itself for the winter. Because we know certain animals, they hibernate during the winter months. So then they know that the winter is coming. It's going to be a hard winter. So they prepare for the season change. So the ant was preparing, and then the fall happened, and then the winter came, and the other animal wasn't prepared for the winter. And during that time before the winter hit, it was laughing at the ant because the ant was hardworking. The ant was busy, 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 and didn't have time for play. And the other animal was laughing and teasing because they're like, oh, you're boring, you're a workaholic, oh, you're this, you're that. And the ant continued about its day, doing what it was doing. And then, boom, the winter hit. The other animal was not prepared. And the ant was so generous to give some of its food and other things to help the other animal make it through the winter. That's a life learned lesson right there. Right now, we're in the harvest time, so we should be preparing for the winter. And as you can see, me, I'm not that one to prepare for the winter. I'm not ready for a coat. I don't like coats. I don't like my arms and my sleeves. I'm that person that will put on a suit jacket, and if it's not an interview, roll up my sleeves because I don't like to be confined that way. So hence why I've been kind of outside a lot because I don't want to be in the house. I want to be outside. And there's nothing wrong with my house. I just don't want to be in there. This is my healing time. This is my away from the away. This is my depressing and decomposing and all of those things. Just letting my Monday from work just so now I'm prepared for to come in the house and not to bring my Monday into the house and contaminate my house because of the Monday. The ant and the grasshopper. There you go. See, I knew we would find it. The ant and the grasshopper. The grasshopper was out there having a ball while the ant was doing its due by getting ready for the fall and the winter, getting ready for the winter. And the grasshopper was just living it up, living the best his life. So that's our lesson for don't one of our lessons for this evening, one of our key points. Don't get left behind. Don't get left out of because you're so busy trying to get back to what you used to do, get back to where you used to be, where you let the fall come in, go out, and now you're in the winter trying to find out what to do, where to go, and how to cope, manage. Also, one of our key points that we were talking about, because we're checking in tonight, we're catching up with how are you doing? How are you getting through the end of the month? So this is the funny part, right? So we were in a meeting at work today and didn't realize that we only had 2 more weeks left of the month of October. And everybody kept saying, we're going to get this done by November 1st, November 1st, November 1st. But nothing was getting done. Nobody started anything, just talking. And then the bulb went on, the bulb light, what is that? The light bulb went on, and it was said, hey, we're talking about November 1st, and how many days do we have before November 1st? Because we get so busy and we get preoccupied and we get distracted and we just get caught off guard. We get knocked off our squares. And then boom, the light bulb goes on, or boom, life happens. And we have to take that woosah moment. We have to take that moment to just say, wait, dang, what just happened? And that's where our check-in comes in tonight. So we're just checking in, catching up. Are you excited that we're about to be in November? Are you excited that December is coming? Are you excited that we're getting ready to yell Happy New Year? Can you believe it? We're about to say Happy New Year again. And I also had these deja vu moments, and I also had these thankful moments because Facebook is my best friend right now, because we get all these memories that pops up. And it's been a year since I've been on the platform with TKVSDS Productions. And that's where I was looking back and I was thinking, but dang, this year went by pretty fast. And last year, this time, I wasn't really interested. I wasn't excited to do this. Some moments, some days I was like, yeah, show tonight. Let's get it. Let's do it. And then with some other days where it's just like, show tonight. Okay, let's do it. And that happens in life. Some days we have a ball of energy, and then some days our energy just depleted. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay when you're not okay, you have to acknowledge that you're not okay. And your circle around you should be able to acknowledge that you're not okay and allow you the time that you need to get okay. It may need a little push, you may need a little word of encouragement. You might need a little joke, you might need a little refresher or reminder or rest. So I talked earlier about using your words. Using your words is so important. Using your words, your words mean so much to people. And depending on what you say and how you say it can be so impactful to someone. And we're going to take a break, and I'm going to tell you about that impact, and I'm going to give you some suggestions on how to soften the impact at times and how to change the impact at times. So, and then that experience will come to a close. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to come back with the impacts of your words.
And now a word from our proud sponsors. Cosmos Radio Network of the UK, proud sponsors for the Tri-City Finest, King of the Oldies, Ali Hackett, and the Princess Lovely. The international radio station that playing music that's out of this world.
as you guys can see, TKBSDS production is outstanding and we're doing some amazing things. We are here 7 days a week, and every day there's a different experience. So if you guys just tuned in, if you guys think you're late, you're never too late because you can always find us on our podcast, TKBSDS production. I'm sorry, TKBSDS Pride. You can catch us on our website, tkbsdsproductions.com. You can check us out on all of the streaming networks: Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio. Just type in our name and you will pull everything up. And how do I know? Because I've done it. And you can binge on us. You can listen from the beginning all the way to the end. There's a different experience every day. So if you're just tuning in, it's okay because you can always go back and check me out. And you can still comment if you're on our YouTube page. You can comment. And sometimes I do go in and check and see what comments is there and, shout you back out or answer whatever questions or just chit chat with you. So make sure you guys love us so that every time an experience comes on, every time we drop something, announce something, you will be in the know. KNOW. So I have to sneeze and I'm waiting for it to come out and it's not coming. So we're talking about the key points before we end our experience tonight. I want to thank you guys for popping in and popping on. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for giving me some feedback on what's going on. Speaking of feedback, if you saw our commercial just now and you want to link in with us, you want to spill some knowledge on us, you want us to talk about something, you want to come on and talk to us about something, make sure you send it to our email, tkbsdsproduction@gmail.com, and put in the subject line exactly what you want to talk about or what's referenced to your email. And we will make sure that we get back to you. Leave your contact information so that we can get back to you expeditiously. tkbsdsproduction@gmail.com. And put in the subject line what is the subject you want to talk about. If you want to come in, if you want a topic, if you want us to go over a topic again, if you know someone who wants to come in and sit on our platform with us, come at the table, our doors are always open. Come on in and chit chat with us. Send the email and someone will get back to you expeditiously. So, key points for tonight. Tonight we were talking about checking up, checking in, just chilling tonight. Tonight was one of those chill modes. Didn't have a guest, didn't need a guest. It just wanted to say, hey, how are you doing? How's life treating you? How are you treating yourself? Self-love, self-care is so important. Don't wait for someone else to love up on you. It's okay to love up on yourself. It's okay to get rest. It's okay to say, not today, maybe tomorrow. It's a shirt in Five and Below that says it. Not today, maybe tomorrow. There's a there is a it wasn't a T-shirt. I think it was. I'm not sure where I saw it. Oh, I saw it at work. One of my coworkers printed it out. I'm not adulting today. Maybe tomorrow. So these little cliches, these little funny tidbits are nice to have because if you don't check up on you, who will? If you don't take your own temperature, who will? So tonight it was called checking up, checking in. What are you doing different? What do you want to do different? Where are you going? And really genuinely asking, how are you doing? If you're not doing so well, there's a lot of resources out here to help you cope with what you're not dealing with well. We are in a time where a lot of people are grieving for one reason or another: loss of a loved one, loss of a job, loss of interaction with people, financial situations, spiritual growth, mental growth. People are just trying to find out how to deal. Some people don't have a job. Some people don't have enough money to feed their kids. Some of our kids are in school who only eat while they're at school. They only have internet while they're at school. They only get a hug while they're at school. You have some people dealing with homelessness because, now landlords can put people out. You know, some people are trying to deal with what they want to do because our best friend is outside, and we have these CDC rules that we have to now come into compliance with. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? It's a lot of things going on in our mental. We have so many things on our plate that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And we have to be strong for others. So if you have children, your children is watching you, and no matter what age they are, they're watching you. Significant others, you have to be there for him or her. You have other family members that we're probably taking care of. Some of our parents are older now, so you have to be more patient with them. We have some, and you're so used to them getting up and being mobile, and now they can't. So there's a lot of things going on. Like, you know what? I had a breakdown. It wasn't a breakdown, but I flipped out the other day because I was just looking for a basic flat black shoe. And I went to 5 different stores, and I could not find a basic black flat shoe. And that just took me over the top. I just felt that I wasted so many hours of the day looking for a basic black shoe. And here she goes again with these ankle situation. Like, no one's laughing. No one's laughing. So I flipped out. I flipped out with this big because I could not find this basic black shoe. A basic black flat shoe. Something I can wear every day, all day, to work, to the gym, on my way to the gym, put my sneakers on, to the market. Just a basic black flat shoe. Something like that can wig you out to where it may not have been important to you, but it was so important to me that I couldn't find this shoe. On top of other things you have going on throughout the day, the last thing I needed was not to be able to find this black shoe. So I'm laughing. I can laugh today. I can smile today. I still didn't find the shoe, but it's okay because I have other shoes to wear. That's the point. Sometimes we just need to just take a step back, look away, come back to it, and take inventory on what you have and utilize what you have. So allow your friends to check in on you. And when they do check in, you know who your friends are that checks in on a regular basis. And then you have those one hit wonders who just check in whenever they feel like it. But if you know that this person is being genuine, then have that conversation honestly with them and let them know what's really going on, because you never know what that person can be able to do for you or that person give you. So that's why I said words are important, because we have to utilize our words. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And sometimes don't be so in the moment where you got to use all these big fancy words to get your point across. Just keep it 100. Just keep it 100 and use your basic vocabulary. Stop playing on words. Stop texting and playing on words in a text message. Stop with all the emojis that express yourself. If you can't say it, then write it down. It's nothing wrong with emails. It's nothing wrong with writing a letter and old school mailing it. It might not get there right away because, the post office is a little bit slow. But if you know where that person lives, drop it in their door. If you haven't talked to someone in a while, reach out and just say, hey, boo, I was thinking about you. How you doing? How you feeling? You don't have to always be the first person to give something. Just giving your time and your undivided attention means a lot more sometimes than just putting money in somebody's hand. Just putting that note in someone's door or note on someone's car means a whole lot. It just lets people know that you're truly thinking about me. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm challenging you guys to check your inventory. I'm challenging you guys to check your contacts. I'm challenging you guys to check your emails. Some people you haven't talked to in a long time, see if their email still works. And email them and say, I changed my number. So I didn't give my number to some people on purpose. but my email is the same. So, may go to spam, may go to junk, but whatever. Just making light of the situation. But either way, do what you need to do to check in, because right now what we're dealing with is outside. Is just, if you live in Philadelphia, you see the news every day. There's a rest in peace. Every day on Facebook, there's a rest in peace, a rest in paradise, a rest in power, a sleep in paradise. And just alone reading that can be overwhelming. So if it's overwhelming to you, imagine how overwhelming it is to the person that's dealing with it. So sometimes it's a good way to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and try to help find a solution. If they don't want your solution, they don't want your intervention, then that's fine. But at least you've showed someone that you care. And that's where we are. We're in a time of checking in, showing that you care, and showing that you too, me too, and together we can kind of figure this out. So that is all my time for this evening. I thank you guys for joining me. I thank you guys for chit-chatting with me. I thank you guys for listening to me. I hope that something that I said tonight was beneficial to your soul, to your spirit, to your mind, that it allowed you to reflect on certain things, that maybe it just brought something back to remembrance to say, you know what? I haven't done that in a while. So let me do that. Maybe I haven't been that best of a friend or best of a relative. Let me check in. Let me see what's going on. Or if you don't have someone to check in, just check in on yourself. Get a list together and check on yourself. Check to see the last time you got your eyes checked, last time you went to the dentist, or last time you got a physical. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So women, please make sure that you are doing that. Checking on yourself. Last time you got your nails done, your feet done, your hair done. Doesn't have to always be health related. It can. Last time you took your car to get a checkup. Now I ain't even gonna go there because my car's been in there. Anyway, moving on. Sometimes just buying a pair of shoes is enough therapy for you, for me. So again, I thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you Friday at Drop That Track. If there are tracks that you would like for me to drop or like me to listen to, remember to send it to that email, tkbsdsproduction@gmail.com. Send it to the email, and I'll make sure that I listen to it and holler at you on Friday. And as you saw, we are here 7 days a week. So make sure you check into one of our podcasts, check online at our .com, check on one of our pages that we have, and just see what we have going on. Because we have a lot going on. And we have more to come because we are outstanding. You heard this all. We are definitely outstanding. So thank you guys once again for joining. And I will see you on the flip on the other side on Friday. Thank you guys. Be safe and have a good night.
When you talk, you're only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. Thank you for joining. Be safe and see you next Monday.